Hi, everybody. Welcome to Shine All the Time show with Natalie Rose Smith, myself. And today we are going to talk about divine timing. And so I'm so excited to have Gaby Puma join us. We're just waiting for her to jump on. So if anybody's watching, pop in and say hi. Oh, looks like. Hi, Tana. Good morning. Oh, let's see what's happening here. Anyways, how's everybody doing today? So I just wanted to talk about, good morning, Tana. We'll just wait for Gaby Puma to join us. And we are going to talk about divine timing today. So I had a whole other show planned, and I just kept feeling like I needed to connect with Gaby Puma. She's an amazing, beautiful human who I'm just so honored to have join us. And so I messaged her last night and she responded back. And so we're hoping that she's able to connect and join us today. But I am not seeing her on there, so I'm not sure what to do. But I'll just talk. So how is everybody? I don't even know what to talk about. Now I'm like having a panic attack. But I do believe in divine timing. I like to live my life like serendipitously and just let things, kind of happen and listen to my emotions and be guided by them. And so I'm really honored to just be here and on this show and to be able to have a chance to share messages with everybody and other people's messages with all of you giants and all of you Facebook people and YouTube and everything. I'm just going to tag some people while we're waiting for Gaby. And good morning, Shauna Lee. Thank you for joining us. I really appreciate everybody joining us. I'm so nervous. So maybe we'll just, let me grab something here. So I'm just going to start talking about what I was planning on doing before I spoke with Gaby and make sure that she's not having any problems. Let me just check here. Maybe we had a disconnect. Maybe the time difference was, I'm thinking, an issue. But so what I was going to talk about was chakras and balancing your chakras and knowing if they're out of line or not. So I was going to talk about the root chakra. And our root chakra has to do with like our home and our foundation and things like that. Thanks, guys. I've got this. Everything just totally like went a different way, but that's okay. That's divine timing, right? We're talking about divine timing here too. Also, like it all flows together. So, yeah. So I'm just like, oh, here's the book. I love having guests on because I know that I don't appear to be a shy person, but I kind of am. And so I like to have guests on because then I don't get so nervous, but I got this. Okay, so teach me all of the things. Okay, Tana, I will try. You definitely teach me a lot of things. So I will do my best. But I just wanted to talk about, before I had planned for Gaby to come on, and we might have to do a recording of that later after the show, because I think we do have a time difference, but that's okay because that's divine timing too. And I definitely want to hold space for her and be able to honor her in the way that she presents herself and honors our world. And just really want to thank her before I get started for all of the work that she's doing in the world, and for who she is to this world. I was just really touched when I was looking at her profile. And so, again, like I was just inspired to talk to her. But yeah, you're right. There are no accidents. And so here we are. So good thing that I spent all day like preparing what I was going to talk about. So, I'll just talk about what came to my mind as I was preparing, and feel free to comment and add your comments, or if you guys have any questions about anything or anything, just comments are so good, and share this. And if you're not following Wake Up with Giants TV on YouTube, then you are going to want to subscribe to that so you can see more of these amazing shows that they have on their network. I'm so honored to be a part of their network. And also follow Wake Up with, or Tribe of Giants on Facebook. I always have a hard time saying that. Nicole Castillo, have things come up in your life that happened that were divinely timed? I feel like, great question. Thank you, Nicole. I love you so much. Yeah, I feel like my whole life has been a series of divinely timed events. I wouldn't say that they were unfortunate, because thanks, Ryan. Or maybe that was Nicole, right? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like my whole life has been kind of divinely timed. The people that have came into my life throughout my whole entire life. And oh, hi, Nick. My brain is like going a million miles an hour. But yeah, so just I feel like I could, and nothing's coming to my head right now, but I know as I'm talking, things will come up. But there's just so many divinely timed moments that have happened in my life. Okay, I'll tell you guys a story. This is one that is most recent, probably in the past couple of years. But so everybody knows that, like, I love to go to Crystal Hot Springs, and I love to just go there to connect with Mother Earth and to kind of cleanse my aura and to get all of the healing benefits that the hot pots have. So for those of you that don't know what Crystal Hot Springs is, it's a hot springs here in Utah, about 30 minutes from me. And so Crystal Hot Springs has the highest mineral content in the world of different minerals and all that have healing property or healing benefits. Nicole, sometimes in my life, I felt that timing was off, but looking back, I realized it was divinely timed. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Yes, the universe does that to us. And so I know I am nervous right now because this is like my second show, but I really actually flow better when I realize that I've experienced a moment of divine timing. And I've really learned to listen to my intuition and to go with that, because it's never led me wrong, my intuition. And just like knowing how to differentiate, like if it's your intuition or if, like stuff like that, you kind of have to be able to tap in and recognize that. But yeah, I've gotten to the point where I recognize when it's like spirit, I'll just say, speaking to me. So my story is that a couple of years ago, I kept getting invited, and I wanted to share this on Facebook anyway. So this is a great opportunity to share it. But I kept getting invited to go to Crystal Hot Springs. And hi, Dana. Thank you for joining. I love you. And so I kept getting invited to go to Crystal Hot Springs, and I was like, what is going on? Like, I haven't been there since high school, you know? And, but I kept getting invited, and a lot of people started going, like, going there more when like COVID happened and stuff. So I was like, okay, well, this must be where I need to be. So, finally, a couple weeks after being invited 2 or 3 times, I said to one of my friends, Amy, I should tag her because she was there for this story to witness what happened. But so I was like, I need to go to Crystal Hot Springs. Like, I keep getting invited and I'm really feeling like I need to go. And at the time I had been doing like a lot of work, working on like just those deep rooted things that we think that we get everything all like figured out and then something pops up. So I was really going deep in my healing process and in understanding like, you know, who I was, and, you know, also looking back on like things that have happened in my life and just being like, what is, you know, what is my purpose? What is the reason for this? Just all those kind of things. So I was doing a lot of generational healing. So I was, you know, I've always been like super interested. This is kind of a long story, but we got lots of time. So I've always been interested in genealogy and like family history and stuff like that. And here in Utah, we have like the biggest family history genealogy center and access to a lot of records, especially, you know, like the people that came across the plains from all over the world to be here. So they did a really good job of like keeping their family history and our family history, those of you that live in Utah, keeping track of that. So I was doing a lot of that. And my point to all of that is that my ancestors settled Honeyville. It used to be called Hunsakerville. And so I have always like loved that area. We go to, you know, graves up there and stuff like that, and just really always felt connected to it. So going to Crystal Hot Springs, where is in Honeyville, was, you know, it always kind of reminds me of my family lineage and stuff like that. And so as we were driving, we were kind of having a conversation like this, just talking about, you know, ancestors and purpose work and things like that. And I remember that I rolled down the window and I was like, I'm healing all of the past traumas of all of my ancestors and all of the women, you know, a lot of them, I mean, there was polygamy back then, and I don't want to get into that subject, just for those of you watching, but that's a whole other different subject. But that's just kind of what happened. A lot of women were left like alone, and a lot of things happened as the pioneers like traveled to Utah. So there was a lot of polygamy on both sides of like my mom's family, her parents, you know, family. And so I was like, I'm releasing all of the ancestral trauma and healing the wounds and the hearts of my family and the women in my family, you know. And then we got to Crystal Hot Springs, and I got out of the car, and I even like put my hands up in the air, and I was like, you know, I'm healing, whatever. And so didn't really think much of it. And my friends probably just thought it was crazy because that could appear that way. But I knew in my heart, like, what I was doing. So that's all that mattered. But then we go to walk in to Crystal Hot Springs, and I noticed this lady. And this is how I listen to my intuition and how I'm guided by divine timing, is I just noticed this lady like in the distance came to get in. And so I just kind of took note of her. And when we got there, we were, thank you, Nick. Yes, it is a cool story of serendipity. Yeah. Nick's heard this story. Most of you on here probably have. Shanalee, thank you for joining. Yes, salt helps ground you in your body and root it in yourself. Divine timing. Yes, it does. And I just think that I'm very blessed to like live in Utah where we have all of these grounding elements around us. And I've noticed like even more recently, like just how grounded like Utah's energy is. So go Utah. But very grateful to like be connected with Mother Earth living here. Since we don't have the ocean, we do have, you know, the Great Salt Lake that not a lot of people go swimming in, but the hot pots have minerals in them too. So anyways, back to my story. So this lady was paying and I had to use the restroom. Okay, Gabby sent a voicemail, but I will listen to that when I'm done. I'm thinking that the timing, the times were wrong. And so it's not wrong, but anyways, doesn't matter because this is right now, right? So yeah, so I pay and then I'm like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. So, you know, because we had drove quite a while to get there. And so we all go into the bathrooms and I'm like, I'm just going to change in there. I'm just going to change in the bathroom into my swimming suit instead of going to the dressing rooms. And so I like start changing and I take my bra off and I had a heart rock in it. And my heart rock flung out of my bra and fell into the toilet. And I was like, you guys, my heart just fell in the toilet. And like the irony of it all was just like, what the heck? So I had this little heart rock. I have this one now, but mine that I had that fell in the toilet, it was a red glass like little rock that one of my friends, Michelle Wallen, had given me. And so I did love the rock. And so I'm like, my heart rock's on the toilet, you guys. And they all start laughing. And all of a sudden I hear this voice like, I'll get it for you. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I knew it was this lady. And I was like, oh no, it's okay. It's okay. Like, you don't have to. I can get it. And she's like, no. And she was just like super insistent on getting my heart rock out of the toilet. And I was like, well, I guess if you really want to, like, I, you know, had just used the bathroom. And I was like, if you want to stick your hand in my pee water, then you can. It's so gross. But anyways, I was just like going, what is going on? But I knew when I saw her, when I walked in, that there was something. So I just kind of have learned to let like things happen, you know? And so I was like, okay, if you want to. I'm like, I'm not dressed, so let me get dressed. And so I hurried and put my swimsuit on. I like come walking out of the bathroom with all my clothes in my hands. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And so she's like, don't you girls know that you're in a sanitary for 45 minutes? And I was like, oh my gosh, no, I never even thought about that. And so, so I let her get it and I go put my stuff away. And like, I'm just like, kind of like, okay. And I could feel like that something was happening. I mean, this isn't like a unique experience. I mean, it is a unique experience. It's not like a common one that somebody would just happen to A, here I dropped my heart rock in the toilet, and B, like offer to get it out for you. And so she got it out and she took it over and was washing it off. And then she hands me my heart rock, you know, and she's like, she looked at me and she's like, I've been waiting for you to come. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I keep getting invited to come to Crystal Hot Springs. And so, you know, things just became really like, not weird, but just like, okay, there is something going on here. And I could feel it in my heart. And I've had like a few experiences like that where I'm just like, that was divine timing. That was divine. And even to points where I have just questioned, like, if these people were like walking angels on earth. There's just so many times in my life that this has happened. And feel free to comment if you guys have had moments like this, because I would love to share them after this story if I need to. But yeah, so she hands me my heart rock and she's like, I've been waiting for you. And don't you know who you are? Don't you know who you are? And I was like just staring at her, and I just started bawling. And I was like, I just sat there. I just looked at her, and she started to tell me all these things. And I could tell that she was getting a download. For those of you that might not know what that is, it's just like divine messages. It's just like most of us, get them and we don't realize that we're getting them, but just kind of like that still small voice that you hear or whatever, just confirming that this was something that was meant to happen. This was divine timing, and this was exactly where I needed to be. And so she started getting a download and was sharing with me all of this information. And I was just bawling, just releasing. And I couldn't even tell you what she said because there was like so much information. Thank you, man, Sherry. I love you. And so that she was giving me so much information, and I'm staying there like in my swimming suit and my towel and at Crystal Hot Springs. And, I'm like, and I think it was coldish outside, maybe spring. I think it was like springtime. So, we were pretty chilly. And she's like, after she got done telling me all of the things that she had told me, she's like, I'm going to change into my swimming suit, and I'll meet you I'll meet you girls in the hot pots. She's like, I'm waiting for 2 of my friends to come. And so I'm like, okay. So we go in the hot pots, and I'm like, you guys, what is going on? And they're like, you just need to talk to her. You just need to talk to her, and we'll just sit back and you talk to her. And they didn't even question it. And so thank you, Amy Winterbottom. I'm going to tag her in this post for allowing me that time to have with Sally. So the lady's name, so we get in, we get into the hot pots. And so we're sitting there waiting for Sally, and she comes in, and she's so Sally is 75 years old, and she's worked in the Granite School District. She's got a beautiful family, and just has always been a really spiritual, highly regarded member of the Granite County School District and that area. And I'm sure she's more well-known than I even am explaining, but from my experience with her and what I experienced, I could, tell that she knew what she was talking about. And so she came, and she's just this beautiful woman, and she had like her jugs of water and all of her bags, and she like hands out water to people, and she's just really like passionate about the hot springs. And so she sits down, and so I start talking to her, and she starts telling me about, the hot springs and the benefits of them and all of the minerals that are in there and what they do for your body. And then we start talking about Mother Earth, which I'm always like, I love Mother Earth. I love Mother Earth. And, it was just kind of like, I always explain the experience. Like it was like when the women, and I think the men did too, I'm not sure. But the ancient priestesses and a lot of different dispensations, women have gathered in baths, all around the world. And so it just it felt like that to me, because the message that she was telling me was so like, like I could feel it. I could feel the spirit. Like I just knew that this was divine timing, that accidents do not happen, and that, I was at the right place at the right time. And so she's telling me about the healing benefits and all of this information, so much information. And I was literally like sitting at her feet, just listening to this woman talk to me and tell me things. And she was waiting for her 2 friends to come. So she notices that her friends got there and were coming towards us. And I looked over at these women, and they were like, just like gliding through the water. Like it was just like so surreal, like such divine women. And we all got talking, and they all had kind of similar stories that I have, as far as like being married being in the LDS church and then getting divorced and, all of that stuff and the experiences that they had. We didn't talk a lot about that, but, I just knew that like they knew where I was at in life at that time. And they were all healers. And so they all had these healing abilities. Like, one of them I remember practiced Reiki, and the other one had something that she did that was kind of in that industry or environment of healing. And they all had 5 kids, and I as well have 5 children. And at the time I was 44, I think, or 43, but we were all like 10 years apart from each other. So it was just really like, and I don't know, maybe I look into things like that, but that's kind of how I connect to knowing like, okay, these things are all lining up, and there are no coincidences. Like the irony of it all is just like, it was divine timing. And it was very healing to me to be able to sit with these women and talk to them and have them like relate their lives to me and to mine, and to kind of give me guidance. And so I just listened to them all. And then Sally continued to go on with her story. And then she started just like telling me all of this stuff about Mother Earth, and how Mother Earth has everything inside that we need. And that she would start like showing us providing for us what we needed. And I'm sitting there thinking, this makes so much sense. And like, to me, like the hot pots are so magical and so healing, and salt is an element that kind of neutralizes things and cleanses things. And so I just felt like really like honored to be there with all of them in the hot pots, and to, kind of release some of that ancestral DNA that we all carry inside of us. Our ancestral DNA is like, we carry it. So like if we have trauma around that, like polygamy, I mean, I'm not saying trauma, I would imagine that there was some trauma around that, because that isn't an easy thing to, go through. So anyway, so and that's why like I'm so about like doing your work to like heal those things that we don't recognize that we carry around with us, that could be generational. It could not even be ours, but it's just in our DNA, because that's, kind of what happens. And so so I said to Sally, we talked for about an hour, and I was like, okay, I am never going to remember all of this. Like, I'm never going to remember all of this. And she's like, you'll remember when the time's right. I'm activating you right now. And I was like, at the time, a couple of years ago, I didn't know what that meant. But activating, we all activate each other, because we all have a purpose here on this earth. We all have a message to share. And when one person, I talk about this all the time, when one person shares their message, then you're able to activate or inspire or, connect with other people that maybe needed to hear your story. And maybe it's just one person, But I sat and talked with her, and she's like, you'll remember everything when the time is right. And then she told me about some significance about the Great Salt Lake, and about some things like in the area. And then we talked about schooling, because she was in the Granite School District. And at the time I had just had to switch my boys' schools from the schools that they grew up in. And so I was really struggling with that. And so we talked about how, our children that are born right now are so special and so magical. And I know that anybody watching that has children, especially, during these past 5 years or so, or 10 years, that they're special and they're really unique. And that I believe that they were sent here during this time for a reason. And so it's always been really important to me to protect like our children, and to always advocate for them. And I have a son, Boston, everybody knows, with Down syndrome. And he's just a beautiful gift. And so I have always been like really all about making sure that his life at school is good and stuff like that. But she was telling me that like, and this was before like things got really bad with COVID, but she was just telling me that if we don't change what's happening in our school systems and in the world, then our children that are being born right now are never going to survive, like, because their nervous systems will be so impacted by the vibration that's on the earth. And, you know, for those of you that don't talk about vibrations and stuff, everything's vibrational, everything's frequency, everything, thanks, Nick, everything is energy. And so the energetic vibration on the earth right now is, you know, got such duality, such polarity that if things don't change, then these special spirits is what I refer to them to, these beautiful children that are being, you know, brought into our families, they're not going to be able to be fully who they are. You know, a lot of kids have anxiety right now. A lot of kids have, you know, learning disabilities that are showing up, that they're being labeled and being, you know, kind of kept small. And that's why I love, you know, Nick's book and the fact that we can share that with schools. The Giants and Smalls book is so like impactful, like so awesome, because what a great message to share and bring awareness to teachers, and just what a great tool to give parents or teachers or anybody who, you know, you want to instill and not let our children forget like who they were sent here to be. And so yeah, that's kind of why I love the Giants Network. So just because of for what they stand for and things like that. I'm going to read some comments. Lori Park's daughter Lindsay shared on on the other side of addiction about a man on a bus, the angel on the bus who found her in her lowest part of her addiction and invited her to a meeting, divinely timed. Timing was perfect. Yes. Okay. Thanks, Nick. Yeah. I love that story. And that's beautiful, because I think that when we sit and think, like, reflect on our lives and the events that have happened, and even events that we thought was were going to be like, you know, that were really hard events, if we reflect on those events and the timing and the things that have happened before and after those events, then we can then like look back and be like, you know what, that was pretty magical. I made it through it, or whatever. I made it through something that was hard, but you can like look at people that were around you at that time and see that, you know, maybe they were like divinely guided to be there for you, or they were an angel. I totally believe in that. And sometimes I'm like, and I told Sally, so I didn't even know her name for like 30 minutes. And then I was like, what is your name? And she's like, my name is Sally, and you can just call me Sally from West Valley. And I was like, okay. And she had like this beautiful, like jovial personality and this white, like beautiful hair. And she goes to the hot pots all the time. And she just has this beautiful skin and everything. Yes, that is an incredible book. I have it right here. I have to close my blinds because the window. Here is the book that started it all. So I don't know why my screen is. Anyways, so thank you for sharing that, Nicole. Thank you for sharing her story. And Nick said we may have Gaby on another episode. There was a little confusion on the timing. She's on Pacific time. Okay, and it's just like, that's great, because we were talking pretty late at night, and so I don't think either one of us had thought to connect the time zone, so I need to be more aware of that. But yeah, Sally from West Valley. So I literally like didn't get her phone number or anything. And then I just was like blown away about what she was telling me, and just the whole experience. And I could feel that it was like a message that I was meant to hear. And yeah, it happens. Scheduling the wrong times, that happens. No stress, right? Thank you so much. So yeah, so I ended up finding her. I ended up finding Sally from West Valley. Oops, on I'm just gonna do that here. I ended up finding her somehow on social media. I don't even know how. I mean, I'm a Scorpio, so I can pretty much find out anything about anybody. And yes, it is all perfect, Nicole. Thank you. So I found her, and I actually connected with her daughter on Facebook, and her daughter just was so sweet and gave me her phone number. And so I've talked to Sally a few different times, and she's been so inspirational in my life, and such a guiding angel on earth, in my life. And I just talked to her a couple of weeks ago, and just kind of felt prompted to call her. And I felt really sad, because she had just got out of the hospital with COVID, and she was doing okay, but I could tell that it wasn't the same jovial Sally from West Valley that I had talked to, but she was still recovering. So send her healing prayers. Hopefully she's all recovered. Now I'm going to have to call her. But yeah, so that was a moment of divine timing for me. Let's see, are there any other things here? Nicole Castillo, my husband has traveled all over the world and says that Utah is one of the most beautiful. Yeah, we have lots of bodies of water. Yeah, I do. I feel like, yes, Nick. X marks the spot. We're always exactly where we should be at the right time. And I know I didn't say it the way that you did, but feel free to write that in the comments. But yes, we're always exactly where we should be. And I've really always tried to live my life like that. I was lucky that I've been able to, for the most part, stay at home and be with my children. And so it was really magical when they were little. My favorite thing was just to go, just to, after we wake up and do our things, go on an adventure. And so I loved going on adventures with them, and just landing where we needed to be. Oh, it looks like she's here. Hi. Hello. I'm so sorry.
Life happens. Beautiful, sacred life happens.
Thank you for divinely showing up.
I am here. I am now here. Um, I have communicated with Nicholas Giant Smith, and here I am. It is always now. So I'm so honored and privileged to be here and now. And forgive me for the time difference.
Forgive me. That was a learning experience for me. So it's all divine timing. Thank you for joining us. How are you? I'm just going to kind of, I feel like I want you to do your thing, share your message.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sa amin cakap pancet tidin caya warcai Gaby Puma, Gaby Puma, Gaby Puma, with you, for us, here and now. It is such a honor to be here with you. Natalie Rose Smith in the beautiful community of the Giants, or Giant One Heart. And when I receive the message coming from Nicholas, it's up to you, Gaby, now or in a week. Well, a week does not exist right now. It is now. So jump on it. This is life. It's always now. It always is now.
Right.
And there is where I live fully in the every now, in the every now moment, savoring life, its sweetness, its bitterness, all of its mighty, all of it.
That is so beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much for being present and for the presence that you always hold. As I was watching your video on the Ultimate Coach Group network, I kind of watched all your videos last night after we had messaged, but I just am so honored that you're here, because not very many people can hold space like you can, and to be fully present in your light and your divinity and your knowing. And I'm just so honored to be able to share your existence with the world. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for who you are. Thank you for teaching me about being now. I received your blessing, your love last night, and I stopped for a moment. Saturdays are our sacred moment for Mark, my beloved husband, and myself. And then it came to me, oh, Mark is in his space this weekend. And I said, yes, life is calling for this, to be with
That sounds,
Natalie, to be with the Giants.
yes, we're so happy to have you on this network and just in our lives. And I'm so excited to connect with you. You're going to the Steve Hardison event, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I cannot wait to see you there. It's going to be an amazing event. So I'm actually just so excited to have you with me right now. So do you have anything that's came to you that you feel like you want to share? Or do you want me to ask you questions, or how do you like to be interviewed?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What I would love for you and for you beautiful loving beings joining us, being with us here, is to become in a sacred dialogue. Allow what comes. Life is that. It just comes, shows up.
It does show up. And I think that for me, what has been showing up a lot are a lot of what I just refer to as our light beings coming together, and with the movement of the solar system. And we're now in the divine feminine energy. And I feel like it's a safe space and definitely the right timing for, and it was planned this way, for all of us to step into who we are and kind of find each other and serve humanity and protect Mother Earth and our children. And I was looking at your profile, and I saw that you've done amazing things over in Peru, and I clicked on a school that you've worked with, and just other things. I'm sure there's more that I don't even know about, but I just honor you for who you be as a woman and as a being here on this earth, because you are just so like, my heart is so full when I even hear your voice. Me and Nicole Castillo were talking about that. She's like, maybe she, even in meditation, her voice is just so beautiful. And so I love how present you are. I would love to emanate that, because I'm always a little bit nervous because I'm still gathering my being together. So
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much. You are so powerful. You're so powerful. You're so powerful. You're so powerful to be living giantly and boldly to the great call of the Great Spirit, to say yes, to be
yes.
wild, to be fully and wholly us. I was blessed to be gifted the sacred life in indigenous lineage that we learn, we are taught to become the totality of life, that there is no more separation, Mother Earth from you. You are Mother Earth. We are Mother Earth. We are the cosmos. We are the totality of this mysterious life. So when you care for you love you, you're loving Mother Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And from this space, it's so perfect. It's so beautiful. It's all it's so well. So it's now. And it's beautiful children, or beautiful sisters and brothers, the golden seeds all around. Here we are. And into eternity. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. Loving
We're
ourselves.
we're exactly where we're supposed to be. I love you so much. Yeah, it was funny. The story I was just telling was about divine. I just kind of started talking about whatever, just trying to fill up some time, but told a story about a woman that I had met at Crystal Hot Springs, who had a message for me and received a download, and I didn't even know what any of that was. It was a couple years ago, and she told me that Mother Earth would provide us with everything that we needed, and that I would remember everything that she told me at the right time. So I'm trusting that, because I feel it coming, and I feel people like you coming into my life, and so many other people that are teaching me. But Mother Earth is here, and she's ready to, if we're ready, to give us everything that we need. So I'm ready, but not the world might not see it. I mean, as far as I look at things, we're already there. So I have to remember like my audience here.
Yes. Yes. Here we are. And here we are. And I'm so blessed to be with my sacred mama, Agustina, back home in Peru, with the beautiful technology now and the FaceTime. And when she is being with Earth in a literal sense, collecting her seeds, um, sending prayers to become rain, when right now it's our rain season, she becomes rain. And I'm gifted to be in that space of our way of being and nurture, and it's all this beautiful tapestry that it all is being woven every moment, every moment, every moment. And we are the seeds, and we are the tree at the same time. We are the river at the same time. Then we come back to the seed again, the seed of life, and those seeds are possibilities. Possibilities. We quite have no clue what that seed is going to come about in
That is
a
so
literal sense.
right, right. I agree. I mean, I don't feel like a lot of us understand the impact that we have on this earth and the imprint that we leave. And it's definitely, I've definitely been more aware of who I be and what imprint I'm leaving on this earth. And I'm still, I mean, here I am. So here we are. But I'm just learning to trust it and to know that life is always happening for me, and to know that those things like in my heart that I know that I need to protect and stand up for, that I can do that for my children and for all of the children and for Mother Earth that we have like so been so blessed to exist on. And I just want to make sure that she's like able to and that we're able to receive like her purpose for us. We've humanity has evolved to where we are now, and I believe that everything's happened exactly how it should, but it's time to repair her. Is there anything that's coming to you right now?
Yes, I would love to be with trust when you brought up trust,
Hmm.
being trusting, trust in life again,
Hmm. Thank you.
trust, become love again.
Thank you, Gabby. I, have this brand Shine all the time, and people always tell me that I have this light or that I'm shining, and I keep showing up in a way that I I can't show up shining. But sorry, but thank you. And after I saw like your posts and things, I remembered a lot of who I be. And I love that you just said that I need to trust, because I remember when I did trust, life and the serendipity and the love, and just it was just all that. And then life happened to me, and I've really I have really like had a hard time not trusting but shining, I guess. It's like, I've had a hard time showing up happy because I am in like defense mode with all of the things that are going on, but recently I've been more stepping towards like not focusing on those things and just being and just trusting. And it's amazing what shows up when you do that. We don't have to work so hard at being who we are. Like, we don't have to, we just have to show up and, listen to our hearts and show up in a place of truth and pureness of who we be, and just remember who we be. And that's why I love this network and the ultimate coach group and all of that, is because it's people that have remembered and who are showing up that way. And I'm super excited. It's like a big reunion, I feel like.
I love you. I
I
love
love
you
you.
so much. And when you share and say, not happy all the time, a definition of happiness from who? Who is defining that happiness is that way, this way, that way? For me, this is pure light. This
I would
is
agree.
beauty. This is being fully wholly you. It is like the stars during the day, we don't see them, right? They are there. They're literally right now. They're here. They're for us, right?
Mm.
The eternal sun is always there, and that's our nature. That's all these beautiful sensations and emotions and feelings. We are so blessed to guide us in our mighty path. And yet, who defines that? We are defining it, right? And for me, this is the pure beauty and light that you are, I am, and we are.
Mm. I feel that, yes, and it feels right. It feels like that is what's going to shift the consciousness of the people on the earth, and open the hearts of the people and heal the hearts of the people. Um, you know, I feel like there is a duality, but I just had chose because I could fight for all of that. I'm a fighter. I could advocate. I could do, but I don't show up like how I want to. And I could be so angry. I don't want that to take over who I am because my light shine, our light shines brighter when we're speaking from our hearts. So, um, thank you for like being such an example to humanity and for all that you do. Is there anything that you want to talk about? What's going on in Peru or anything like that?
So I was at one point there that I wanted to fight all and for all, and actually I did. And here I am now as you are sharing with us. My heart is wide open and I see only beauty and unity and peace and grace. That is what I'm committed to. That's who I am. And I be to 8 billion beautiful beings in this planet, to the totality of my humanity. If I were to fight, I'm fighting myself and life. I be it.
Mm-hmm.
I love so wholly self, every bit of life. We're no longer, I'm so blessed that my origins are Peru, Machu Picchu, my sacred lineage. That's not who I am. My home is 5 continents. My home is planet Earth. Who I am is humanity, totality. Who I am is the stars, is the sun. That's who I am. And it's always now.
Mm.
It's always now. And it's always now loving, learning to love so fully, learning to let go. Because I've carried so long, so long. It was killing me. So I honor my family, my lineage, my ancestry through. That's not who I am. I am the lighting of hope. That's what our Creator sent me to be here now. And it's always now.
Mm-hmm.
It's always now. I
You are a
need,
lightning of hope.
yes, I need nothing. I need nothing. I want nothing. Everything is provided already. Everything. I welcome
So
it all. I welcome it, all of it.
I'm sending it. I know what you're saying.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah,
I just sent it to you.
that's the beauty, right?
Yes, but I really am
That's
sending it.
fully receiving it, Natalie Rose. Fully
I'm the
receiving
sorceress of
it.
light, so no, I am light for sure, and that's my true state of being, and I want my kids to, um, and all my friends and family to have to know that about me. I don't want them to always see me fighting the systems or fighting this or that or like fighting for my survival, like they've watched that for a while now. And there's something about like once you step into your light and
Mm.
remember that there's so much peace and that everything that you need is brought your way. And just a knowing that, if we stand in our light and we listen to our hearts and we connect with Mother Earth and with the stars, then everything is going to work out, then our purpose here will be, I guess, shown, we'll be shown our purpose, like, or we will remember our purpose, I guess I'll say. And that's all we need. That's why we're here.
Well, let's have fun. Let's have
Yeah.
like our purpose is to have fun, to play, to
Yeah, we
play.
were not sent here to struggle. Yeah, to play. And I'm so excited to play in Arizona and to really connect with you. And I think that it's funny looking at how this show happened today, because I was like, I know she's going to be here. Like I knew this before I even asked her. So thank you.
Wow. I'm so
Um,
blessed. Thank you.
no, you're welcome. I think that we're probably past time, so I hate to even get off. I guess that we only have an hour, but thank you so much for gracing us with your presence, my love. You are light and love, all of the goodness, everything good, and thank you so much, so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I honor you. Thank you for being shining eternally. Here and now. Here and now. Thank you for loving me. Thank you
It's
for
time
loving
to shine. Well, we're going to shine in Arizona. I know that for sure.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A true honor to
All
be
right.
here.
Well, it's an honor. Thank you. Namaste, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thanks everybody for joining us. If you are not following, excuse me, Waking Up with the Giants TV on YouTube, then follow them so that you can see more of these episodes. And we've got a lot of great people that are doing shows on the network, and it's amazing things are happening. So you're going to want to follow that and follow Tribe of Giants on Facebook. And all of you have a great day and shine all the time. Thank you.